What's going on, What's going on, guys? My name is Lance. Here we are at Alternate Universes in Bluebell, PA. Not Bluebell, Holmes, PA. Here's my deck profile on Chaos Breaker Dragon, or now Chaos itself. My starter is Involution Star Vader Carbon. When it goes into this, when I have a lock card, it goes into the soul. Go get to grade 1 or lower and add it to my and call it superior call it to the field. It's really good. It helps me go ahead and get my grade 1s. Pretty much more of my pieces that I need. For my grade 3 lineup, I played 4 Chaos Breaker Crisis. Counterblast one with a Star Vader in its name when it hits the Vanguard circle, or when you stride a Star Vader G unit. My opponent chooses 1 card and locks it. His other skill is when a unit is unlocked, I can choose to retire that card and retire that card and draw a card. I like this skill a little bit better than the Soul Blast from the previous Chaos Breaker, simply just because I don't have to worry about the soul too much. My backup grade 3 is OG Chaos Breaker. Axe skill, counterblast 1, choose a card with Star Vader in its name and discard it, you lock something. And Limit Break 4, same as Crisis, only for each card that gets unlocked, I can Soul Blast a Star Vader and retire it. A good card in its own right. Until something comes out better, I'll just keep playing him. For my grade 2s, I played 4. Disorder Star Vader Iron. It gets plus 2k when it attacks when I have a Chaos Vanguard. It's rearguard skill when it's placed on rearguard circle, counterblast 1. And if I have a Vanguard with Chaos and my opponent has a locked card, I can choose a card on my opponent's field and lock it. It's pretty much a Photon replacement since I don't play Photon in the deck. 3, Star Vader Strange Dragon. Strange Dragon skill, well, its Generation Break skill is when my opponent has a locked card, it acts as a booster. When it attacks or boosts, I lock a card. If I can't lock a card, it gets plus 5,000 power. Next up, 3 Star Vader Colony Maker. Colony Maker skill, counterblast 1, place on rearguard circle. When my opponent has a locked card, I can go get a grade 1 or lower. Again, same thing as my starter. Go get my pieces. Go get things like Zinc to help me progress through the game. Next up is Melepton. She's counterblast 2 with Star Vader, the card name. My opponent takes a card from their hand and places it on the field as a locked card. I like her. I'm testing her out at 3 right now. I might bump her up to 4. Right now, I don't really like her too much at 3. I only like her at 3 because of the fact that she has a lot of counterblast. I know, right?
Where'd you get that one?
I got this in the case.
Okay.
Next, I played the new Star Vader PG, Iron Wall Star Vader Thorium. She acts as a regular Star Vader PG. However, I believe I can get Star Vader Vanguard. No, I don't, but I do get to choose any of my Star Vaders. I like her because of the fact of her additional effect. If my opponent has 3 or more locked cards, I'll draw a card. It comes in very handy.
Score sheet, where?
Next up, for some reason, this $7 card, Turmoil Star Vader Zinc. If I have a Chaos Vanguard, and this is on a rearguard skill, Axe skill, play in the soul, I counter charge 2, soul charge 2. Just helps me get back the resources to be able to pay cost for skills. Next up is for the new Star Vader Stride Fodder, Penrose. I can only use this for the cost of a Star Vader G unit, which is most of my G zone. But if I stride with it, Soul Blast 1, I can look at the top 7, and if I have a Chaos Vanguard, I look at the top 7 for a Chaos monster. I like this way better than Destiny Dealer because it just kind of helps me filter through the deck a little more. Next up is 1 Star Vader Metzen Axe Dragon. I only play the 1 simply just because I can search him out whenever I need to. He's pretty much Volt Line, but he gets more power. Next up is 8. My trigger lineup, 8/6 crit, 2 Paradigm, goes back, recycles itself back to the deck, and locks a card in the back. I mostly use it just for the recycle. That's pretty much about it. 4 of the Marvel clone and 2 regular draw triggers.
Wait, why do you play this kind of trigger?
Pretty much because Soul is still an issue in this deck because a lot more cards Soul Blast. I do get the +3 sometimes, but for the most part, I play 6 draw because I need to draw into the pieces of my deck. so that the deck is consistent.
Why not stand?
Stands don't really work well with this deck, and the only stand I would use costs Counterblast, just to relock something,
Okay.
and just 4 heals. Next up is a G-Zone. 4 Blue Ball. His axe skill is Soul Blast 1. For every card face up in the G-Zone, my opponent will lock one of their units. And his Generation Break 3, he gives +3 to the front row for every lock card. So essentially, he's a much better Nebula Lord than Nebula Lord could have ever been. 4 Chaos Universe, 2 of the new print, 2 of the old print. Counterblast 1, flip a copy of itself. My opponent takes a card from their hand and place it down on the field as a locked card in an open Rearguard circle. And if I have 2 or more cards face up in the G zone, he locks something else additionally. I don't see why you wouldn't play 4. Good cards are good cards. Next is 2 Death Star Vader Chaos Breaker Deluge. Generation Break 3 Axe Skill, Soul Blast 1. Choose a card from your G zone, turn it face up. My opponent will take 2 cards and place them onto the field as locked cards. And if my opponent's damage is 4 or less, I take one of those locked cards and place them in a damage zone face down. Really good card. Combine this with the grade 2 Melepton, locks out my opponent's hand, and allows me to push a little further. Play the 1 Amnesty for the mirror matches, Link Joker matchups. Pretty much give me back my full board so I can do what I need to do. 1 of the GB8, which I barely go into. It's probably going to turn into something else eventually. 2 Destiny Dealer, pretty much plus 10k shield, unlock 2 units on the field. Simple. One of this new one, his skill is you Soul Blast 1 to draw a card if your opponent has 2 or more lock cards. And then one Lacus Karina. Counterblast 1, choose a G Guardian in your face down G Guardian and flip it face up. I lock as many of my units as I can to lock units in my opponent's back row. Pretty much lock out their boosters, lock out anything in the back that's pesky, and I don't really want to deal with it. Really good card. I'd play more if I had the space.
What's the tip for to use a Chaos?
Keep it simple. Don't try to be smarter than your opponent. Just kind of do what the deck asks you to do. I personally like this. I've played this deck in its various incarnations back since it came out in Catastrophic Outbreak. And the deck does one thing and one thing only. Locks out your opponent and pushes for game.
Okay, thank you.